We begin with Mike Shrader, Vice President for Intelligence and Innovative Solutions at Carahsoft. I asked him what special operations personnel were talking about with him on the show floor.
Sure, and I think that statement sort of lends itself towards the utmost importance of the mission, as opposed to the pure technology aspect of what we're all trying to accomplish here.
Yeah.
The mission in this community is again, number one priority is making sure the mission is attainable, achievable, and is accomplished, as opposed to how you get there and how the sausage is made necessarily with the underlying tech. So I think there is that shift away from the edge computing terminology and more talking about it as data at the edge, who can access the data, who can do what with the data, and who can make decisions that are, at the end of the day, potentially going to save lives or assure national security.
Through the course of this program, we'll talk to a lot of folks both in government and industry about what they're seeing innovation-wise along those themes that you just described. What do you think is kind of the overarching framework that someone should approach when they're trying to look for solutions, whether they're on the government side or providing them on the industry side, to try to achieve the vision that you just laid out there? If meeting mission really is what it's all about.
Sure. This is a big community of early adoption, right? The national security community has embraced emerging tech companies, probably more so than any other segment of government. They've adopted some innovative contracting techniques to make sure that they can bring technology in quickly. They can get it stood up in a prototype environment, and they can sort of prove out or vet out whether it what the concept of some of this emerging tech that could potentially be game changing. So I think that from that aspect, they are being very embracive of emerging tech. They're doing a lot to bring companies and attract companies to events like this, engage in conversations, collaborate with different organizations that otherwise might not have the means to have the biggest presence on the show floor here, and just providing lots of inroads and front doors for companies to show up and talk about how they can help meet the mission.
What do you think industry can do more of or do better for their customers to support the innovation that they're trying to drive?
I think similar to what we were just talking about, focus on the mission. First, seek to understand the mission. And not just have a business outcome that you're driving towards in terms of leads or revenue or pipeline, and really contribute towards how, communicate how your technology could help accomplish the mission, help achieve some sort of ends that's good for the customer, that the customer's looking for, and then contribute towards the success of that project, versus again, just peddling technology and just talking about the underlying technology and what it does and how it might help customers in unrelated segments of the market.
We touched on kind of the change, the evolution in thought process around edge computing now, edge data consumption and analysis and so on. Where do you expect to see this community go, technologically, acquisition-wise, whatever? What do you expect to see maybe the focus of a show like this a year from now or 2 years from now as technology continues to evolve and the personnel needs continue to evolve?
So I think just my personal opinion, judging from being here last year to now seeing it this year, there is a heavier focus on like the software, hardware, technology. Not to say they're shifting away focus from the tanks and guns and submarines. There's a submarine downstairs, if you haven't seen. But the traditional mission hardware, I guess. My perception is maybe there's a larger focus on embracing technology to help meet the demands of the mission and meet the demands of the of what the community is trying to achieve. So I guess that's my biggest impression of this year to last year.
Mike, it's great to see you. Thanks very much for coming by.
Absolutely.